Hey guys, and welcome back. I know it's been a while, but I've been kind of going for a nostalgic trip lately. And with Black Ops 7 being, well, Black Ops 7, the dumpster fire, I wanted to go back and take a look at where it came from. So, while chilling out, scouring through the Game Pass to find good deals, I found, well, Call of Duty 3 for sale. Now here's the really weird part. I remember this game was like one of my favorites as a kid, except I don't recall anything specific of it. The younger me loved it so much, but why do I not remember anything from it? And so, let's go down memory lane and see, does this game hold up today? And more importantly, let's ask, what does this game do that makes it so good, where Black Ops 7 is not doing anything whatsoever? So, if you do not know, Call of Duty 3 takes place during World War II, and it takes place actually multiple perspectives of the Allies compared to the Axis. Now, most of the time, you're going to be fighting only one faction of the Axis, the funny cross people. I'll let you figure out who I'm talking about, because YouTube doesn't like that word. So the first level is your basic tutorial level, but here's the deal. This is a really simple, good tutorial, and gets you into combat real quick. Easily the best part of the tutorial, though, is you can spam as many smoke nades as you want and make it so the entire camp you can't see for shit. And it's awesome. You know the quartermaster back there is just face palming, realizing he let infantry soldiers into his stash of smoke nades. Yeah, probably don't want to let the infantry soldiers be bored. Just give them a pile of rocks and they'll be fine. And I mean, this intro I remembered immediately when I saw it. I remember this guy running after the truck, getting exploded, then you gain dragged to cover to only go over a wall and assault Germans. So let's talk about the combat itself. The combat itself is really bare bones. In fact, that's kind of the weird part about it, is it's really enjoyable because it's super basic. For example, if you're shooting while moving, you're very inaccurate. However, to put it simply, if you just hold still, you basically have pinpoint precision, even just hip firing from long distance, and it's really, really satisfying. What's really nice about the combat too is all the levels are formed in a way where you can kind of tackle it from any direction and have the same amount of cover and kind of do a passive bounding overwatch, which is really, really satisfying to see and to pull off. Now, the weapons are a whole different bag. The weapons, all of them feel really good. Well, except for one. We'll get to that one later, though. All the weapons overall are really nice. However, what's really weird is you're only going to be using the German weapons. I wish I was joking, but no. For some reason, they made it so the ally weapons are really, really hard to get your hands on ammo. Well, later on, it kind of fixes itself a little bit because there's more like scripted deaths of allies so you can pick up their weapons. In this case, it's just really rough getting ammo, period, for the ally weapons. But it also hurts more because the German weapons are really, really good. In particular, the FG42, the Kar 98 even is really, really good. On a funny note about the Kar 98, there's these little like QTE events. Yeah, I know, it's not the Halo 4 Didact one, but there's these little QTE events where you kind of have to fight off a German soldier that's like doing the best facial animations ever. And then at the end of every one of them, when you fucking defeat him, your guy like looks at the car and he like is disgusted. It's such a small detail, but God, it's so funny. It made me laugh out loud when I first saw it. And let's just take a second to appreciate all the chaos. When you see footage of like more recent Call of Duties, there's nothing really overwhelming or scary about the situation. But this whole intro sequence, for being only the first level, is just incredibly well done. It's pure chaos. 9 times out of 10, you'll probably be actually shooting an ally when you're trying to shoot enemies. It's super good. My personal favorite moments in regard to combat is actually when you're clearing buildings. There's a lot of these moments throughout the game, and there's something so satisfying being able to chuck a nade into a room and just hearing, oh, boom. It's so good. And the game has a fuck ton of them, so that's really awesome. And it's really smooth being able to clear the buildings perfectly. Now, let's get to a really weird part about this game. I think because it runs at a higher frame rate, there's a lot of weird glitches in regards to dead bodies. Now, there's a couple where they'll just fly straight up and through the ceiling, which is hilarious. However, there's also ones where bodies don't register to stop moving, and so they'll just kind of do this thing where they just float away, float away, float away. It's amazing. And while some people will be butthurt and be like, it's not immersive, bro, it's so much fun. It's just so funny being in a serious situation and just seeing somebody like fly away. It's amazing. It happens a lot, especially with frag grenades. I recommend using frag grenades just to see what kind of ragdolls you can get. Easily the best QTEs in the game are the parts where you place the satchel charges. There's something so cute about the game where it's like trying to guide you. And I relate to my character. I first tap it, undo the button, stick it in, and I don't know what I'm supposed to do here next. Oh, you twist it. See, you know what's the great part about this joke? I don't even get to the part where I get the satchel charge on. Jokes aside, these little events and these kind of controls kind of remind me when games used to be really innovative in how they wanted to do new controls, especially for certain sections. Now, I will give the game one thing. The story is not very well done. Like the personal character stories. I did not even really memorize any of the like allies in the game. I did not whatsoever. I know that my character's name was Nichols because I was told to focus as I was watching a German body fly in the sky. But that's about it. However, earlier I said that I would answer exactly what makes this game better than Black Ops 7. And while it's a really low bar, there's actually some really interesting things they did in this game. Making use of the small space possible and putting as much stuff in that small space. One thing you'll notice about this game is that the maps themselves are actually ridiculously tiny, except the way they have your character go through these areas make them seem like way larger than they should. For example, my favorite level, the second to last one, you are defending a hill. And in that level, you're kind of going in a slow spiral inwards to get to the top of the hill as you fall back. This level is amazing too in regards to the way you're kind of like just meeting up with random allies, fighting Germans between. It's so chaotic and it has the best jaw-dropping moment. There's this moment where you get to the top of the hill. The game slowly silences everything. You're surrounded by coffins, you're surrounded by rifles, helmets, no men, you're surrounded to dead guys. It's the reality of war. War is not a beautiful thing. There's people that are gonna die. Sons, daughters, mothers, fathers, no matter. And this moment kind of puts you back into the reality of the situation. And it's just so unbelievably well done. And this was a game that was done 20 years ago. And I bet you, even though I haven't played Black Ops 7, I'm betting you there's no moments in it that equal to this like beautiful reveal. But that being said, this level also has the dumbest rifle known to man. So earlier I mentioned the FG42. It has a stupid amount of recoil, so you're kind of supposed to tap fire it. So instead of doing like a Kar 98 with a sniper rifle scope, they decided to put a sniper rifle scope on an FG42, and this thing is just unusable. It's so goofy, but yeah, I can't help but love it. The recoil is so brutal, and it's impossible to use, but what's weird is if you actually tap fire, it's actually pretty solid. Now, I will say, one thing that really surprised me in this game was, well, the use of the grenades and the smoke grenades. The grenades themselves are really good, and yes, while there's kind of like obvious moments where to use them, they're really customizable in how you want to use them. However, the smoke nades are just broken. There's nothing to put against them. They are just broken in so many different ways. The smoke nades create a giant cloud. Here's the thing. Nobody shoots through the cloud. So give it a couple seconds to disperse, and you can just walk up to enemies at face point, and they will not shoot at you. And yes, while they are rare throughout the campaign, they are ridiculously strong, and honestly, they're really fun to use because it makes certain sections without them miserable, but even just one smoke nade makes a big difference. So going back to making the most of a small space, I think it's due to constrictions and limitations that really allow developers to make really clever solutions to make a game more fun or innovative. And this comes as a shocking surprise due to my least level being the open level. There's this level where you have to find soldiers and you have to go to like 3 different points with a car, and it's just not very fun. Yes, there's a little bit of firefights, but it's just not very fun due to it being so dead. By making the most of a small space, you can really create these chaotic moments like ambushes, perfect grenade throws, etc. But the problem is, they're trying to shoot for too much. And I can compare it to today's Call of Duties. Today's Call of Duties don't focus really well on making the most of a small area. They make a large area with just nothing, and it's rough to see. You know, while playing through this game, it kind of made me more disappointed in the reality of the situation that games are not really fun anymore. Black Ops 7, even Black Ops 6, they weren't very fun. They were neat, some of the gunplay was cool, but there's nothing as satisfying as just playing through this game again. Like the last level, the last 2 levels, you're just slowly peeling back and trying to hold off as many enemies as you can. Yeah, maybe the story isn't the best, but the thing is, it was fun. For having $6, being able to go home from work and just play some Call of Duty 3 has really changed my outlook on how games need to develop today. And yes, while I do understand that campaigns don't really make the most money, right now, we need games that are fun, not microtransaction stores or other BS like that. Do you guys have any nostalgic memories of Call of Duty 3 or even Call of Duty 2? I do have Call of Duty 2. I do want to make a video on it, but I still have to get the codes for it and, actually play it. But what about you guys? Have you guys had anything nostalgic or some kind of same feeling? Holler at me in the comments. P.S. You know what's really cute about this game? If you press start to like the pause menu, there's a select storage device. That's adorable. I mean, the last time I've seen a game use that has been, I can't even know. It's just cute.